What's going on, everyone? So Austin Reaves is having a all-star level, even MVP level season without LeBron and Luka and stuff like that. Austin Reaves has been unbelievable this year. And it begs the question going into the season, a lot of reports, a lot of talks about Austin Reaves. Like, what are the Lakers going to do, right? Even going into this season, there are a lot of questions, right? He could get as much as 41, 42 million. Is he worth that, right? So far, the way he's playing, it's like, yeah, he is, right? But the big question, of course, is the playoffs and all that. Like, that could be the difference between him getting 41, 42 million or him getting 25 million, right? If he has another dud in the playoffs. So this is a very important year period for Austin Reaves. But it's also big the question of like, right, because he could just walk. And you have reports of teams like the Brooklyn Nets may end up throwing money at him. There's going to be other teams that I imagine throw money at him, especially if he has a good playoff performance. But he wants to be a Laker. There were even reports that came out that like were like, hey, Austin Reaves, he's not all about the money. He doesn't really care. Like, he's not going to take like 15 million, because if he was willing to go down to like 23 or whatever, then he would have just taken the extension, right? But he's probably going to get 35 million maybe instead of the 42. That 7 million difference could be huge for the Lakers. It's the difference between you being able to get another player or two. That's the difference between you being able to free up your exceptions. It's the difference between you being able to be under the first apron, even all three, right? So Austin Reaves, if he's willing to take 5 to 10 million less to stay with the Lakers as opposed to another team, that could be huge for the Lakers. But even trading him, right? I'm somebody that no one is truly, there's like 3 guys in the league that are truly untradeable, right? Austin Reaves for the right trade has to make sense. But Austin Reaves is playing so well, you can't trade him this year. You just can't, right? 1, you need to make sure Luka and LeBron are fully healthy. 2, his contract is so cheap, you can't get value for Austin Reaves. You can't get the return that you'd be looking for in an Austin Reaves trade, even if it's just like a pieces trade. Even if you wanted, like, say, hey, man, let's go get 3 kind of high-end rotation guys or something like that. You couldn't even do that, right? So that's the issue. Like, tomorrow, the Minnesota Timberwolves could call and be like, hey, we'll give you Jaden McDaniels and 7 firsts, right? Like for Austin Reaves, something crazy like that, right? You couldn't do it, right? Like they could hit their head and be like, hey, we'll do Anthony Edwards for us. We couldn't do it, right? Like Pelicans go, hey, we'll give you Herb Jones and 5 firsts. You can't do it. Like the problem is contract is so cheap, you can't do most trades that would make sense. Now, in the offseason, you could pull off some type of sign and trade and get off of him if you wanted to. If like, say he's been great, but like him and Luka just quite aren't working the way you want it to, or you get some like crazy trade offer in the offseason, something like that. That's just like, man, do we really say no to this type thing? That would be the best opportunity to trade him. Because now, again, you could do a $40 million sign and trade. So now you could go and you could get a Herb Jones and a Trey Murphy for an Austin Reaves. So Pelicans are like, hey, we'll give you Herb Jones, Trey Murphy, and like 2 first round, like whatever, something crazy. It's like, man, we can't say no to that. Like, you could do something like that if you wanted to, but right now you couldn't do that. However, based on a report that recently came out from Lakers Daily, there's basically 2 guys that the Lakers would only trade Austin Reaves for. Now, obviously, again, you usually hear stuff like that, right? If the right trade comes, I'm sure there's more than 2 guys in the league that they would trade Austin Reaves for. But according to this report, and I'm going to read the report. So, the Lakers have rejected over 20 trade offers for Austin Reaves since last season. And according to, again, LakersDaily.com, the Lakers are only going to trade Austin for Giannis or Jokic. And neither of those guys are getting traded this season. So, again, talk about the only way the Lakers would trade Austin Reaves is for Giannis Antetokounmpo and Nikola Jokic, right? Neither of those guys agreed are going to get traded this season. In the offseason, however, right, now that could be a possibility, right? Especially Giannis, right? Like, I think Giannis, if the Bucks end up falling on their face again this year, I think Giannis is gone. So Giannis could be a very real possibility if that becomes available. And it's like, hey, we can give you Austin Reaves plus 3 firsts, because Lakers have 3 firsts in the offseason plus a couple pick swaps, stuff like that. Like, now Lakers could have like a real, especially if Austin Reaves continues to play to the level that he's playing right now. It's like, dude, Austin Reaves playing, he's an all-star. he's playing at it. We've seen what he can do when he's the guy. He's playing at an MVP level. You get a guy like that. You get a bunch of first, whatever, Dude Thero, Dalton Connect, whatever else. Like, hey, here's a nice young package. Maybe you're doing a 3-team trade, whatever. It becomes more plausible. Makes sense. Even if Giannis or Jokic became available this year, it would be very hard to trade because, again, you couldn't get Austin Reaves' value. Right? Like, you'd have to trade Austin Reaves, but you'd have to essentially gut your whole team. Where next offseason, you could do Austin Reaves and absorb whatever remaining salary is because you have a bunch of cap space. You could absorb whatever remaining salary is left. And then on top of that, if they do want other pieces, like I said, you could throw in a Dude there, you could throw in a Dalton Connect, you could go work out a third, get a third team to go, because you have the first and the asset, stuff like that, to maybe go put together a package. Now you got Austin Reaves and Miles Turner and all, Gary Trent and all these guys that, you could still be a competitive basketball team. So that makes sense. Nikola Jokic, obviously, if he becomes available, we'll see in the offseason. I think if Jokic ever was to leave, it would be to the Lakers because of Luka. Right? I don't think it's a Laker thing. I think it's just a Luka thing because they're like besties, right? So if Luka was still on Dallas, I'd be saying the only way I see Jokic leaving is if he went to Dallas to go play with Luka. It's just Luka is on the Lakers now, so it's like, yeah, if Jokic is ever going to leave, it's going to be to go play with Luka, who is on the Lakers. So I kind of look at this situation, and I mean, it makes sense. I mean, the way in which Austin Reaves is playing, it would be silly to trade him for anybody that's not like that top-end type of player, right? Now, again, if he lays a dud in the playoffs, that could be, even if Giannis does become available, you might not be able to get him for Austin Reaves at that point, right? Like, it just, again, there's a lot kind of riding one way or another. A lot riding for Austin Reaves, a lot riding for the Lakers based on whatever they want to do or whatever they choose to do. Also, you got to keep in mind, does Austin Reaves want to go to a team like Denver or go to a team like Milwaukee, right? Is that somewhere that he would want to go to? Because he's going to have a lot of power and say. So, like Giannis could become available. And if Austin Reaves is like, dude, I don't want to go to Milwaukee. Like, I just don't. Like, then now what? Now you're turning Austin Reaves. Yeah, you could probably get an insane return that could maybe give them the package necessary to land a Giannis, right? But could that team just go and trade for Giannis? Like, depending on the team, depending on who it is, right? Like, so there's just, there would be a lot of questions regardless with that. Again, I don't think it boils down to just two. Like, I don't think it's Giannis or Jokic or bust. I think it's, those are the guys that, have been linked to the Lakers since the offseason. Those are two guys that could become available as soon as this upcoming offseason, right? And it's like, okay, so if we can get one of those two guys, yeah, then Austin Reaves. But, I don't think that those are the only guys. Again, if an Anthony Edwards becomes available, or you're not trading Anthony Edwards for him, just getting, there's probably a dozen players you'd probably trade Austin Reaves for, or, some insane package where you're just like, oh, do we really say no to this type thing? But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass question to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. So we enjoy these types of videos. Truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.